Hello YouTube, my name is The Legend of DS, and welcome to the first video of 2016 for me in mid-February, or close to mid of the month. It's been a long time. After the Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Bros., I kinda sorta got sick. Again, I'm still kinda sick. But the video I'm making today is, well, like many of my other videos, a speculation video, because why not? Why not? And this is more a speculation video after recent Nintendo developments about the Nintendo NX. And like the title of the video says, when is Nintendo going to unveil the NX? Well, many people, like myself, I believe that it was going to be February, but we already are midway through and we haven't heard anything about it. They're not talking about it. They're not going to obviously say anything right now. And from what the new president of Nintendo, Kimishima, said at the most recent investors meeting and briefing, we'll probably get an announcement probably in, say, late March, early April to mid-April announcement for the NX, because Kimishima was questioned about how would Nintendo achieve Nintendo-like profits ending in the next financial year that ends in March 2017. And Kimishima only said, and his answer was, not only said, he said that there was going to be two areas to achieve Nintendo-like profits. One of them was smartphones, or the smart devices on iPhone, iPad, all that, the mobile games, and the NX business. He specifically said NX business, and a solid Nintendo NX release will probably be, or more probably no, it most likely what he means when he talks about NX and the NX business. Now there's many people doubting and saying it's still going to be 2017, and personally I could have seen that if Kimishima had said preparing for the NX, but he talks about the NX launch. He talks about supporting it and preparing for it, but preparing for the NX launch while achieving Nintendo-like profits wouldn't make much sense unless the majority of the financial year from April 1st, 2016 to March 31st, 2017 be about preparing the launch, and with the not preparing, the majority of the time be preparing it, and another part being the launch. Now, looking at Nintendo's probable release of the NX most likely will be launching in the US, in Europe, and in Japan in November, probably November 18th, much like the Wii U, and maybe December 2nd in Europe. Maybe, because we don't know, they like to do regional releases with their consoles. The Wii U was launched in November in the United States, a week later in Europe, and then in December, early December for Japan. Now, let's look at things, shall we? We are mid-February. We have not gotten a new Nintendo Direct since the Direct for Smash Brothers, and even then that was a Smash Brothers Direct, not a Direct for Nintendo, all things Nintendo. So the last time we truly had a Nintendo Direct was in November. We are almost in it's almost been 2 months since it, so I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo announced the Nintendo Direct in March or late this month to talk a little bit about Twilight Princess, talk about Star Fox Zero, Pokken, and the other games coming out for the 3DS, like the Dragon Quest games. But then again, we also need something for the Japanese audience. Maybe they talked about more amiibos for Splatoon, in the, I believe, Octoling and the Callie and Marie. So if we go by then, Nintendo also said practically that Kimishima said that he would probably talk about it, or it was implied by what he says, next financial quarter that Nintendo will be talking about the NX. So next financial quarter at the end of the next financial quarter is the ending of the financial year and the beginning of the new one. So March 31st is when the financial year ends. So we probably won't hear anything about NX until then, probably because I can see the last 2 weeks of March and the first 2 weeks of April being used to talk about the NX reveal. Revealing the NX would also be with games which people say that Nintendo doesn't have many if the console is launching this year, which is very far-fetched. As of right now, there's big rumors about the NX. There was one there's one rumor on Go Nintendo from I believe his name was Metal. Let me check for a moment. I know I've seen it. It's a Go Nintendo rumor. A guy called, let me see, a guy called Metal Dave, a source at Go Nintendo, says that there is a dev, a PlayStation 4 dev, an unnamed one, obviously, that says that they're waiting for the dev kit, and Nintendo already has second and third party developers with the dev kit, that this dev is trying to get the kit to get a PS4 and supposedly a graphically demanding PS4 game to the NX, and that Nintendo's already informed them and on when to get the on when they can get the dev kit. Obviously, this could mean that if this is true, the power of the NX should be around the PS4, since a dev trying to bring a game to the NX, and it's a PS4 demanding game, that the NX should be able to handle. And oh, I just remember, and this will be added before when I'm talking about the dev kit and the rumor, and you are now hearing this part. Then after the dev kit talks, I had to edit this part in because I remembered when I was closing the video something very important. People have taken that the dev kit, that the fact that there's a third-party studio that doesn't have a dev kit must mean that Nintendo has not sent a lot of them out. This is very far away from the truth. Look at the facts. We are in February. The PS4's final versions of the dev kits were sent in February 2013. Why is the reason not to count out the fact that many devs have it is because we don't know the dev that comes from the Go Nintendo rumor. If it is an indie dev, there's no way they would have it right now, unless it's an indie dev that's very closely knitted with Nintendo. My opinion is that Sega, Square Enix, Capcom, Ubisoft, EA, and Namco all already have a development kit for launch. Like I said, I believe on a forum, I don't remember when one person was saying that that could mean a disastrous launch with no third-party games. I said, Nintendo, we don't know who this dev is, and Nintendo's going to prioritize companies that have games launching from October 2015 to the end of March 2017. I'm sorry, 2016 October to 2017 March. By a simple reason, that's when the games are coming out, and that was the weak point of the Wii U. The Wii U's weak point, people will say it's the gamepad. It wasn't the gamepad. It wasn't the price of the gamepad, and it wasn't the price of the console itself. It was how Nintendo handled both advertising and games. Remember, the Wii U did great at launch. One of the best launches of all. We had sold 3 million in the until the ending mid-January or ending of January. It had 3 million sold units, more than 3 million, and then it staggered out because it didn't have any games until Pikmin. It had games until Pikmin, but let's be honest, even Pikmin itself, it wasn't a big game. So basically, until Super Mario 3D World, there wasn't a big system seller. Sure, you can say that Wii Party was in Japan, and then Wind Waker could have been that. Wind Waker was a remake, so so it's very debatable. Handle it. Another rumor that we have heard comes from I'm checking the rumor right now, says that from Jesus. Another rumor that we have for the NX comes from Dr. Sercantoto on Twitter at Sercantoto, that says that Namco Bandai is working on multiple NX titles and not several NX titles, and one of them is Super Smash Bros. Now, people have taken this to mean Smash Bros. 4 is getting ported. Well, it could be Smash 4, but it could be Smash 5. We don't know. The probability of being Smash 4 is obviously higher than being Smash 5, but the chance is still there. Now, with an announcement in mid, this is obviously the big rumor right now, and with Kimishima practically confirming that we'll hear about NX at the end of the next quarter, the quarter and the financial year that ends March 31st. My prediction, this video has gone way too long. Obviously the audio, oh not really, the audio clip has it at 9 minutes and a half. I had to cut, there's probably going to be a cut somewhere because like I said in the beginning, I'm kind of sick and getting over my sickness, and I got really something stuck in my throat. I had to go drink a glass of water. So I didn't stop the audio, but still, that's beside the point. My prediction: NX will be unveiled from let's see, I have my calendar next to me, from March 21st, probably the 23rd, 24th, to April 15. The last 2 weeks of each month are going to be when probably Nintendo talks about. Also, if Nintendo doesn't talk about the NX until then, and they still only talk about it at E3, don't discount a 2016 release. My opinion is Nintendo is going to do 2 individual releases for the NX. I feel like in Japan the handheld is going to come first, but in the West the home console is going to come first. Versions. The reason why? Think about it. What the consoles that sell better in Japan are the handhelds currently. The 3DS is in its 6th year in Japan. Sales data are decreasing, but only in the past 2 weeks has the PS4 been actually selling better than the 3DS, but not by much. And the Wii U doesn't sell all that well there. And while yes, in the United States and Europe, the Wii U overall this year is probably going to be selling slightly more, but those sales mainly come from Japan, and mainly not because of the console market there being strong, but mainly by the surprise hit that was Splatoon over there, which is, I believe, the fastest home console game this generation to reach 1 million in Japan alone. So, you know, that game's doing crazy numbers. Crazy good numbers. So, basically, that's my opinion. I feel like Nintendo's going to talk about the NX, reveal the NX from mid-March to mid-April, that 1 month window, because that's when, with the financial year ending in the middle, I should say, and then with end of April, early May, having the the investors meeting, much like they had now. Remember, the quarter that Nintendo talked about recently was the quarter that ended on December 31st, and they talked about it in February. I think the 2nd was when the meeting took place. So, you know, that's when we'll talk. That's what we got. So that's my opinion. NX review, and the NX obviously again launching 2016, handheld in Japan, home console in Europe and the United States. And again, if they don't talk about it by then my prediction was obviously incorrect. If they talk about it at that time, I was right. But again, don't rule out 2016. I'm convinced it's 2016 at this point. Release before the launch. If they don't talk about it at E3, until E3, don't discount a 2016 launch. Basically, because we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. And now this is for the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you have watch this entire video. I don't know how long this is gonna be. The audio says 16 minutes, but obviously I'm gonna be doing more edits. So thank you for watching. I'll probably start doing more videos when I start getting better. I'm still a little bit sick. That's why there was a big edit portion that doesn't make much sense because I had to stop talking and I started feeling a little bit. I had to drink water, but that's beside the point. Thank you for watching. My next videos will probably be around rumors that we start getting and more. So, and maybe the next Nintendo Direct, which again I think it's gonna happen in between mid-February to mid-March, and then the reveal of the next mid-March to mid-April with the release of the home console in the West in November and handheld in Japan, and then the home console in Japan in February, and in February the release of the handheld in the West. Wow, that was a lot. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.